Hello, my beautiful people. I am so glad I can finally say, welcome back to the youth channel, No Shame in the Gospel. Please stay tuned because in a minute, you're going to meet another amazing kiddo living with no shame. People, here am I in my church, Naples Spanish Adventist Church, ready to meet a long-standing guest. The kid you're going to meet today is someone for whom I have a very special affection. And I think I also have a fetish with him. I'm going to show you in a moment, but please help me welcome Alex the Lion. Really nice.
Oh my goodness.
Do you see this cake right here? I love this cake. I love everything about him, but there's a body part that I love, and it's this right here. I love his cheeks, and one of the reasons that I love Alex so much is because he is one of the most humble kids that I have met. This kid is full of talents and gifts, yet he always portrays himself as Mr. Nobody. I don't know anything. I don't have any talents. So I have been trying to get Alex on camera for a long while, and I am very grateful that he agrees to have this interview, because I recently got diagnosed with COVID, and everybody treats me or treats you when you get diagnosed with COVID like if you have sexually transmitted disease. Nobody wants to get close to you or whatever. But Alex was brave and nice and humble enough to say, yes, I will do that interview. So thank you, Alex.
Of course.
And welcome to the youth channel, No Shame in the Gospel. So can you please tell our viewers your name, your full name, your age, your nationality?
So my name is Alex Ventura Jose. I'm Mexican, and I'm 18, turning 19 next month.
Wow.
Well, no, this month actually. Today's August 1st.
August 1st.
So yeah, this month.
So you are a lion. I mean, we don't do horoscope here, but
I am Leo.
You are.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, great. Alex, I know you've been coming to church for many years, and I just have met you maybe like 5 or 6 years ago since I moved to Naples. I've seen your beautiful family coming to church. Were you born in the gospel? Were you born in a Christian family, or did you learn about Jesus after you were already born?
No, my family started going to church, I'd say around when I was 7, probably.
Okay.
At that time, my family wasn't active in church. They went once in a while when their family members would invite us. But the one that actually kind of made us come to church was my older brother.
Okay.
He would always ask my dad, when are we going to go to church again? When are we going to go to church again? And so my dad finally had that moment for himself. So you know what? As the head of my household, we're
That's
going to start
nice.
going.
That's nice.
So yeah, at that age we started going.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently.
Okay, that makes sense. So you were 7, you said, right?
Well, yeah, around 7, I think, I remember correctly.
Okay. So, but I'm pretty sure you didn't really have all the understanding of what the gospel is, what God is at that age.
Sure.
So here comes the big question. When did Alex meet Jesus?
I'd say honestly, about 3 years ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was baptized since I was 10.
Okay.
But you know, as a kid, maybe one of the biggest mistakes was to get baptized at that age.
Okay.
You know, as a child, you don't understand completely what you're actually gonna,
Get into.
Get into. I don't know what I'm signing up for. You know, in kind of those moments. We understand as a child that Jesus, He loves us. We
Yes.
love Him. We want to have a relationship with Him, but we don't understand the struggles that
Correct.
is going to come after that.
Correct.
So,
So there has been struggles.
Oh yeah, of course. 3 years ago, there was a moment where I decided not to come to church anymore.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember squeezing your cheeks like there's no tomorrow every time I see you. Like if that could hold you on.
Yeah. There were moments that led up to that occasion.
Yeah.
Where people blamed me in the church for doing stuff. And it made me discouraged.
Yes.
And so coming into a place where people frowned upon me. Many people would say that maybe I was loved by everyone, but secretly,
It's just the way you felt.
yeah.
The way we unfortunately, and I say we because I was part of it, I guess, part of the church, the way we adults or leaders or whatever could make you feel. So, Alex, I apologize for the way we adults at church at some point make you feel. Because I know the psychologists say you can't forget the words someone tells you. You can't even forget who told you those words, but you will never forget the way those words make you feel in that particular moment. And I know the devil can use a moment like that on a youth person like you to drag you completely out and never come back. So I'm very glad you were able to see through the struggle and look at the face of God and the face of Jesus, that Jesus you met, telling you, you know what, disregard whatever happened, whatever make you feel that way, because I'm not like that. That's not who I am. So the question will be, what was the struggle and how did you come up to become what you are right now?
So, the number one struggle was being in an environment where, it's sort of like a toxic relationship, as maybe you could say. It's not very healthy for one's mental health to be in a toxic environment. Not everyone in the church is toxic.
Yeah.
But obviously, there was a lot of people like you that I cared very much for. That I knew that they loved
for
me.
your cheeks.
And I knew that they loved me no matter what.
Yeah.
But there were also people that had that double-sided face.
Yes.
With me. And not only with me, but
Yikes.
with other people.
I know.
But and like I said, it's not much of me coming to church and paying attention to others and how they treat me. People might say that it all should matter about your relationship with God.
Okay, but
like I said, there's your emotional health is also the number one.
you have a skin
Yeah, you have boundaries.
and it burns
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. No matter how much you like the sun, if you're exposed too much to it, it's gonna burn you down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So that was my struggle. Not only that, but it also led to the point where I was questioning, is this really a place of worship, a place of Christians, or is it much of a place where you come together and you talk smack about your brothers in Christ?
That's sad. And let me tell you people that are watching, this is a reality not only in our church, is a reality I think in every church, because this is like Noah's Ark. We have a kind of a definition for what a church is, and it's kind of a hospital. Of course, there's different hospitals of different levels, and there's different staff working in different hospitals. But yes, we have sick people over here, people with broken minds and broken habits and broken hearts, people that have been hurt, and usually people that have been hurt have a talent to hurt others or a calling to hurt others. And I'm really so sorry that you were the victim, or you were hurt at some point.
Well, there was a moment, I remember exactly actually. It was a Saturday morning. My family was getting ready to go to church, and my dad walked into my room and said, "Get ready, come to church with us." And it wasn't the first time he said it to me. It was constantly every Sabbath that I missed to go to church. But this Saturday morning, I got up and I went to go to have breakfast with them. You know, I didn't really do that as much, and you know, I was feeling maybe I should have a moment with them and stuff like that. It turned to a moment where it was just me and my parents, and my dad prayed for me. And like you said, psychologists say that there's a moment where people say something, and that you remember the way that you feel at that moment.
Yes.
I remember the exact words that he said. He prayed for me, and in the prayer he said, "Lord, if there is a moment where you take my son's name out of the book of life, I ask you, please take mine and put his instead." And you know,
that is a father prayer.
Yeah, it is. And it hurt me a lot.
Oh.
You know, it did hurt me a lot, because not only was I affecting myself spiritually, I was also giving that struggle for my parents.
I know.
So if it comes to a point where you start realizing, maybe I should give it another chance.
Maybe I should make a little effort and give them another
you
chance.
know, at the beginning it was just for my parents. It was just for my parents, so they wouldn't feel that.
Okay, that's fine.
But I mean, when I come back, I still felt discouraged, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I know.
So
well, the devil wasn't gonna let go on you that easily, especially with all the talents you have.
Yeah. So.
And I remember, I wish I could find that picture, but if you find it, send it to me, because I want to make it part of this video, and I'll put it right here in this very moment of the interview. I remember you preach in a Pathfinder Sabbath. I went to see you preach at another church. I really love this kid. I traveled all the way. I think I even went through a toll, and I didn't have my sun pass.
Yeah.
I remember.
It was the Cape Coral Church.
To see you preach, and you mentioned, you didn't say the exact words, but you did mention that your father had that moment with you that made you kind of give it another try. I remember that. That was really cute. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. Alex is one of the youth leader for the conference for the Pathfinders organization. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So I am a varsity representative for this area of Florida. There's not many Pathfinder clubs in the Southwest area, so you know, I just started, so obviously with this pandemic going on, we can't really...
Everything slows down.
Yeah.
But
we had a huge event coming in October. We had the varsity camporee.
Okay.
But it was
cool.
statewide. So, but due to the
I hope they can do it in person, not virtual.
No, we canceled it. We decided to cancel it. Yeah, we're going virtual. You know, we had in mind of the health of our Pathfinders and their parents.
Okay.
So we preferably decided to do it online.
Okay.
Do it the safe way. So, yeah.
Okay. For those that don't know what the Pathfinders and the varsity is, can you just briefly explain what the Pathfinders is and what the varsity role or the varsity subdivision in the Pathfinders is?
So Pathfinders is a ministry in which the youth, usually ages from 10 to 18, around the grades of 5th grade and 12th grade, senior year. It's a youth organization where we come together, we learn more about Jesus. There are different classes, such as, it's sort of like the classes like PowerPoint, like you noticed, or the adult class. It teaches the Pathfinders a way to learn about Jesus and to love Him at the age that they go by.
Correct.
So,
very specific.
Instead of showing like the book of Revelations
correct
to the friends, which is the very youngest in our club, then it can scare them. I mean, the book of Revelations and the book of Daniel is a very scary book, to be honest. So we keep those books mainly for the varsity section.
Right. So, my varsity leader right here. How do you come from struggling so bad to the point that you almost left the church to feel comfortable doing what you're doing right now? What was the saving?
Well, before I decided to leave, I started my adventure, I guess you can say, into the Reveille Pathfinder organization. It's usually, we teach outdoor stuff, camping skills, first aid, stuff like that. We go camping usually around January, and we teach the other kids, the camping skills and the first aid. And so I always had that backstory, I guess you could say. But I was also involved in my local church as being the drill captain and being very involved. Right. So that kind of like spread my name.
Keyword, involve your youth.
Even
involve your youth, involve your kids. They have talents.
So
being involved, actually.
That sort of spread my name, I guess you can say, to the other leaders in the conference. So I first started with our area administrator in the South, Sister Martha Lewis. She's a great person. She's amazing.
I know. She's sweet too.
She's very sweet.
She's very
sweet. She has another special place in my heart.
Aww.
So
tell her not to take mine.
So yeah, I started out with that, and then I went to the drill ministry with Alex Flores being the drill director for the state.
Yes.
And then Jose Diaz, which he is the varsity director. He reached out to me when I was 16 if I wanted to be the representative, but I wasn't 18, so I couldn't.
You have to be a certain age?
Yeah, it's preferably 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But now you can.
Yeah, now I can. That's why
you are.
Yeah, that's why I made it now.
That's nice.
So yeah, for 2 years.
So you've been in their scope for a little while.
Yeah.
So Alex, my lion, is a talented kid. I have learned about a few things that Alex have done. One of the things that I remember you studied for a little while was how to be a chef. Is that right?
Yes.
You should see this kid cutting an onion. I was trying to find a picture of you doing that because I saw you show me with the 2 fingers or whatever, and it was just too cute. But he switched career, and right now you're studying
to be a surgical technologist.
And that's gonna be something that you guys get to see in the showtime moment. Why do you call yourself a no talent kid? Do you realize?
I guess.
Why do you think so low of yourself sometimes, Alex?
I don't know. I really don't know. I guess it's that mentality of, keeping to yourself the majority of the times until someone needs you.
Yes, but you know what? The Bible, let me tell you something right now, and this is important in the interview, and I don't want this to be edited. I don't care how long it takes. Because this is a message for you, and it's a message for every other child out there, child of God out there. When the Bible says everything, and I don't know how to say it in English, give all the glory to God, or everything you do, let it be to His glory, that means there's stuff that you can do as a human that deserves some glory, deserves some credit. And it's okay to say, I'm good at this, I can't do that, and I can't do it to serve and to spread the gospel. The problem is when you get the glory. You can take the credit as long as you give the glory to who it belongs to.
Yeah.
So one thing that I want you to start realizing is how valuable you are, how precious you are, not only for the conference, but also for God. And you should be precious to yourself. You should value your talents, because those are gifts that God has given you. Special set of kids. At the beginning of the interview, we talk about that. Special set of kids and talents that only Alex has. And they have been given to you for you to acknowledge them, use them as you are, but just know that you have them. Just know that you have them, because you really do. You're precious, and you're great. And I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. So right now I'm just getting the instruments that I actually need. Obviously this is just a practice setup. In a real situation, everything will be in a sterile field to prevent a post-operative infection for the patient. I have 4 different sutures in this pack. I have my silk, my polypropylene, and polyester, which is basically nylon. And also have my other sutures in there. Obviously, this silk suture isn't really made for the outer suturing of a patient. It is multi-filament, so what that usually means is that it takes up more than just one strand. So imagine like a rope with different strands. It helps it to stay stronger.
Okay.
Are you zoomed in onto the skin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this right here is just a simple interrupted suture. So as I suture, I'll go on explaining on the reasons why we do certain ways. So with my action forceps, I grasp onto the skin and I penetrate through the skin, usually going through the dermis and picking it up. Obviously in real life, I won't be shaking this much, but it's been a long time since I've done it, so.
It's okay to be nervous.
Yeah.
That means you care. Practice makes perfect, though.
See, that's why I haven't done it on an actual patient yet. Because obviously patient safety is our #1 priority.
You got that right?
So that's why it's only left for the surgeons to do.
But I'm glad you have a practice pad where you can
it's good to practice.
with. It's pretty cool.
And then you go into the other side. Penetrate through the dermis and out through the skin. Grasp it all with your
I've been a nurse for over 25 years. I've never done that. So you're a step up me.
And so we usually do a little tail on the end to close up our suture to tie it up.
Okay.
So we put the needle aside, put the action forceps aside. We're gonna do 2 knots around like this. We're gonna grasp onto the tail and pull through.
That is so cool. I always found that so cool.
Yeah. So as you can see, the knot is going to end up on one side. We don't want the knot to end up on the actual surgical incision for the reason being it can also cause a surgical infection, because as I said, with the multi-filament,
yes,
that can cause an infection. So we usually do it 2 times. The first round is going to be 2 times around, and the other 2 would be 1. And what you would want to do on the first one is go on one side, and the next suture would go on to the other side, and so on and so on. And so by the end of that, you grab both ends, grab your scissors. You're gonna want to leave a little bit of the tail. You cut it off.
And it looks perfect. Which also means that if your mother blouse gets ripped, you get to sew it.
Sure.
I will keep that in mind.
So there's multiple ways of sutures, you know. It all depends on the surgical specialty as well. Obviously, plastic surgeons have more experience to prevent the scarring of the patient.
Have you thought about a specialty that you want to
So
go for?
far, I really do enjoy plastics and general surgery.
I guess.
Like I said,
Fine hands.
For plastics, it's about perfection.
Yes.
And then general surgery, you know, I really enjoy watching all of the insides of the patient. So
It's pretty awesome. I bet. Have you been at the OR?
I have. I'm assistant in the OR.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've done many general cases, mainly general cases, because I've done
Awesome.
my surgical rotation at NCH North Campus.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you. Can I open my eyes?
You can open your eyes.
Okay.
All right, Alex. How do you guys like that showtime? Wasn't that kind of cute? And this is only one of the things this kiddo can do. I wish you would see him drumming. He said he forgot how to drum, but I know he didn't. There's just not a drum around here. Otherwise, I would make you drum for us. Drilling and, you know, most of all, I wish you could see him leading, because he is a leader. I have to say thank you so much for this interview. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your honesty, for pouring your heart in such an honest way. I really appreciate it. Alex, I have found that when a Christian tries to hurt another Christian, usually, if it's sincere, if that person is sincere, it usually does it in the name of God. But the only way a human, it doesn't matter if it's Christian or not, the only way a human can defend God is by judging other. And unfortunately, God doesn't need our defense. So please forgive and let go on whoever hurt you in the past, because otherwise, if you hold a grudge, that's gonna poison you more than the damage itself. And just use your talents for the glory of God. I hope at some point when you become a certified surgical assistant, you can think every time as you go patient to patient that your hands could be the hands of God, the healing God that was able to suture your broken heart and drag you back here. I'm so glad He did. So, you know, the way you receive the grace, this is a time for you to keep going. I give grace to others, to all the youth, to all the varsities and to the teens that you can help. Just know all the struggles you've gone through have happened in your life to prepare you to help others coming back, just coming behind you. There's kids that have probably gone through the same struggles that you have gone through in church. So your job is to tell them there's a light on the other side of the tunnel. Just keep going, just push through. Even if you just do it for your parents at the moment, you still keep going, because at some point you will break through that just like I did. I think that's probably the common right now. And I have something for you. I usually put a nice picture in here. But you are not a picture person.
Is that why you asked me for a picture?
So, well, yes. Yes, but I'm gonna find a picture that will go in here, and I'm going to autograph this for you too.
Thank you.
This is a no shame in the gospel little thing.
Thank
But
you.
this right here is my infamous birdcage. Yeah.
I like that.
And that just symbolizes the gospel is great news. It's freedom to the slave. You have been invested and gifted by God with talents that you need to use to free every bird, every teen that have been caged in the past. In struggles and sins and misunderstandings and resentment, whatever it is that comes your way. Every time you look at that little bird cage, it's not a cage, it's a house, but every time you look at it, just remember, spreading the gospel means using whatever tool God has given you to free others that have been trapped before. So I hope you like it. I hope you keep it for a long time. And excuse me for the pink bag. Everything's different this year, so yeah, you get to get a pink bag.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. My last words to you, be blessed and be a blessing. Always remember que Dios te ama, siempre lo ha hecho y siempre lo hará. Okay?
Thank you.
Can you give me a hug?
Of course.
COVID hug! Bye-bye, my people. Meet me on the next interview with another amazing kiddo living with no shame in the gospel. Okay? And this is for you. Just remember, Jesus loves you. Bye-bye. Well. I hope you enjoy meeting Alex. But this segment right here is for you. For you. What's your gift? What's your talent? What are you good at? Whatever it is, remember you can use it to spread the gospel. So until our next guest, you be blessed and be a blessing. See you next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys speak Spanish, my mom has another channel called
Migajas.
And thank you for watching this video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Help me introduce this amazing kiddo. Danny, you will cut all of that. At least the part for the introduction, because I will do that again in the next video.
Yeah, it's very minimal in this area.
We will edit that.
We will edit that too.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to go to the other channel, which is
Migajas.
yeah, we messed up. Get out of here.